Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to ask the question, is it possible to tell stories about love and, to tell stories about love and intimacy with Dungeons and Dragons in a way that's mature and respectful? All right, that's a big question. Wait a second, Scott. I guess the answer would be no, because you have literally never talked about this before. I'm talking romance, people. I'm talking boy meets girl, right? A real love story where two people fall in love and they go to get married, and all the love stuff, all the intimacy stuff, holding hands, kissing, the whole thing, everything that would be in a rom-com, right? Like, but without the comedy, right? Is it possible to do that with Dungeons and Dragons? Well, Scott, I guess the answer's got to be no, because I've literally never heard you talk about this before. And you're right, I don't. I do not talk about Dungeons and Dragons telling romantic stories. And the reason why is I truly believed it couldn't be done. I did not. I kept romantic stories out of my Dungeons and Dragons very specifically, very intentionally, very purposely. Why are we talking about it now? The television show, The Outlaws, all seasons, season 1, 2, and 3, spoilers for the Amazon Prime brilliant television show, The Outlaws. All right, let's go forward. So the reason why we're talking about this is I just saw an example of a mature, respectful, romantic love story told in The Outlaws. I have not seen this. I haven't seen this in a rom-com ever, and I have not seen this in any Hollywood drama ever, right? Until The Outlaws. All right, let's dive in. Ronnie and Ben, okay? Ronnie is young. She's about 19 years old. She's out of high school, going to uni, right? She falls in love with Ben. Ben is probably a year older than her, right? And at this point, they fall in love, right? And they, just like you would see in any romantic comedy, right? And by the way, I'm not going to say romance movie because that ain't even a thing. There aren't pure romance. Like, if you're going to do a romance movie, you just do a rom-com, romantic comedy. That equals romance in America. We don't do non-comedic romantic films. It's not. I think they did one. I think it was called Shades of Grey, and it was pretty widely mocked, and it turned out to really be nothing of significance. So, okay, so romance. So same thing you would see in any romantic comedy. Now, this is what astounds me. Okay, any Holly. Now, I've watched a lot of rom-coms, right? Like, and the reason why is, I'm not gonna tell you the reason why. I've watched a lot of rom-coms, right? And so my favorite one was Love Hard. It was very good. It was with the gentleman who was in Silicon Valley. Fantastic movie. It's a romantic comedy about Die Hard, which is incredible. You got to see it. Pretty sure the name is Love Hard. It's a really good film, and it's a sleeper for a rom-com. And actually, it has terrible romance. Like, and that's the point, is there is not a mature, respectful romantic relationship shown in that movie. It's just a good rom-com. I enjoy rom-coms, right? But they're enjoyable like potato chips, right? You can never suggest potato chips. You could eat potato chips, but you can't tell anybody, hey, you should eat some potato chips. You should never tell anybody that, right? But I can tell you right now, you should watch The Outlaws for advice for love. It actually has a mature, respectful, romantic relationship in it. So what does that look like? Well, Ronnie and Ben fall in love. Ben is a good, kind, tolerant man. Ronnie is an evil, adrenaline junkie villain. Ronnie is straight up evil. No two ways about it, right? And now, let's back it up. Well, if she's a villain, why would anybody date her? Because she is a compelling romantic partner in the show, right? Like, she cares for herself as far as like her physical form, right? And presents a physical form where the care of that physical form has clearly been a priority, right? So she's conventionally attractive, right? Let's put it that way, right? And then Ben is anybody would want to be with him because he's a good, kind person, right? But Ronnie is not. Ronnie is a straight up adrenaline junkie. She goes, when we meet her, she is a habitual shoplifter, right? Steals left and right, right? Has no respect for people's property. As the show progresses, she becomes a straight up, like, harming other people, pure, full on thief, fully engaged in crime for the love of the adrenaline in it. Just like Heat. For me, the action is the juice. Ronnie is the personification of a female saying, for me, the action is the juice. Best line in Heat, and Heat is the best action film ever put on screen, except for Die Hard, right? So here's what happens. These two do the whole, will they, won't they, blah, 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 blah. You've seen it in every rom-com in the world. This is why we're talking today. At the end, Ronnie goes to, at the end of the show, Ronnie destroys Ben's relationship with his new girlfriend, Tori, when he had left her when she had run off literally to go on a crime spree. Then she came back and they had a whole nother will they won't she. And finally, Ronnie realized, I'm evil. I pursue crime for the adrenaline. I'm an adventurer who was never quested. And that's a villain, right? I got minioned, I got henchmen. Maybe I'm the pure, straight villain, but I'm here for the lulz. For me, the action is the juice. But for Ben, he actually cares about people. He's actually kind. He's actually tolerant. And he does not belong with me. I'm evil aligned. He's good aligned. He does not deserve to be with an evil aligned person. I've never seen this in any action movie. There's so many action movies where, the protagonist of this movie is a pure garbage human being. But they're going to get together in the end because the formula dictates it, right? And so what's interesting is, so then you reach a point where all this is happening and you realize, oh my gosh, and this is the thing that really blew my mind, was you reach a point where Ronnie brings Tori, Ben's girlfriend, back to him and says, listen, I ruined, your girlfriend saw me kissing you. And then I ruined your chance to be with her. And and we were gonna have a moment and you would be with me forever because you don't have the backbone to turn your back on a friend. Not a paramour, but a friend. And the reality is Ronnie brings Ben's girlfriend back and fixes everything and sets her with a girl who is kind and tolerant her and says, Ben, I'm letting you go because I'm evil. I am the villain, right? I am the Maleficent. You are the Prince Eric, right? And I'd never seen this in any, and I was like, that is a mature, romantic love story told straight. It's incredible, right? And it's so good and so perfect and so well executed that it gives me hope we could do it at the Dungeons & Dragons table. I'm not here to tell you today how to do it because I have no idea how to do it, right? All I have right now is strong confidence and strong hope and a real belief that it can be done. We can do at the Dungeons & Dragons table what Outlaws just accomplished. And I've never seen it accomplished in any Hollywood product ever, right? It is phenomenal. If you haven't seen Outlaws, what are you, living in a cave? Get on it. Outlaws season 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm officially, and get this. Every word you just heard is my humble opinion. I'm asking for your humble opinion on whether we can tell mature, respectful love stories at the Dungeons & Dragons table. And I'm also asking, I'm starting this discussion officially. We know it can be done in another medium. We don't know if it can be done in Dungeons & Dragons. Do you think it can? So here's my questions to you. Do you think it can be done? Right? And then next question. If your answer is yes, how? Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part's when I hear yours. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a fetch millennium.